Hey friends, I'm Laura Malone and I'm obsessed with all things coaching. Self-coaching, life coaching, specific niche coaching, all of it. For 20 years, I've been a traveling, homeschooling, full-time ministering, multi-passionate mom who finally decided to take the dream of starting my own business off of that top shelf. I realized that what I'd been doing all my life was called coaching. Then I found out it could be both ministry to those around me and a business blessing. Now I'm sharing everything I've learned over the years as coach, entrepreneur, and imperfect human who's still in process. I'm inviting you to my table laid out with a feast of spirit-led strategies, tangible tools, growth God's way, and clarity about your callings in life. So get ready to become the hero in your own story and an amazing guide to others. And now, enjoy the show. Well, today is another really beautiful day. I think it's going to get a little hotter later, but I do love June. It is such a beautiful time of year in the north southeast. That's where I live. I call it the north southeast because it's not the deep southeast and it's kind of like central-ish. We used to live by the ocean on the East Coast and I loved it. I really miss the winters there. They were so beautiful, but now we live away from the ocean, in between the ocean and the mountains, so I can get to cities, oceans, and mountains. And that is just something I always wanted. And the weather and the temperatures in June are really pretty perfect. So I hope your day, no matter what time of year you're hearing this, and no matter what location in the world you're in, Australia, Brazil, the UK, Dominica, wherever you are. And I hope that your day today is blessed and that you feel the light of the Lord's face really shining upon you, just like this bright sun outside my window. Today is a little off the cuff because I want to share some answers to questions and struggles that might be in your mind. So people who are coaches in training or want to become a life coach, or maybe just dream about being a coach, but are really held back by one thing or another. These are some of the common struggles and questions that I hear, and I want to address it today in a podcast because I want to help you get past them. And even if you are already coaching or already coach and training somewhere, I think these are still things that pop up even mid-session with a client. It's imposter syndrome and self-sabotage behaviors that pop up and rear their head, whether we are coaching or not a coach yet in pursuit of it, or even a seasoned coach. It is really normal to struggle with these in some form or fashion. So I want you to know it is not too early and it is not too late in your life. If you have the ability to communicate in one format or another to people, and you've lived at least, let's say, around 2 decades and under 14 decades, okay? And you feel that God has given you a heart to love other people in some way, a helping hearted spirit, I believe you can be a coach, okay? The reason I know this is because I have a 19-year-old in my life and a 74-year-old in my life who could both be incredible coaches if they wanted to be. So if you're 19, you could become a coach. If you're 74, you could become a coach. There's no reason to live like life can't start yet or life is over. If you have a heart to help and have experience in any area and you're able to connect with people, if you're loving and kind, but strong and determined to see transformation come to people's lives, well, I believe you can do it. I believe everybody in the world needs a coach, and I believe most people could be a coach, at least at some point in their lives. So you also need to know that you are a helping-hearted person. And what does that mean? My kind of definition of it is that something in your heart wants to reach out to a specific group of people or all of them and help them in some way. That's me in the grocery store. Anytime I can be the volunteer customer service guide, I love doing it. I want to help you find the potato chips. I don't know why. I cannot keep myself from literally walking through the store with a stranger or four and helping them find the very thing they're struggling to find. It's just in me. Even in I can't not bust the table to help my server at the restaurant. But it doesn't look like that for everyone. Maybe you have skills in an area or passion in an area, or you have experience in your life that you find yourself experience empathy and compassion for people, and you want to help them through something that you've gone through. In our nonprofit, it's because we do crisis response and disaster relief, we have a lot of people who love to serve people who've been in situations they've been in themselves. We have so many helping-hearted people in our ministry, and I love serving them and serving with them because there's something besides just like it's not just needing something to do with their time. They're really showing up because they have experienced pain and loss and trauma. Their houses have burnt down and hurricanes have flooded their homes, and they've lost people in their lives, and it has burned something inside of them that says, I want to go serve other people because I know how hard this is. And I believe that in my experience, I have something to bring to the table. And maybe there's injustice and trauma or pain in your life that has given you experience, and you've grown through it and past it, and you're moving on and experiencing new life and transformation. And now you have a burning desire to see that same measure of transformation. It won't be the same transformation. It won't be the same type of transformation, but you want to see the same measure of transformation and hope come to other people's lives, and you want to help do it. So mostly I think that people who are parents and pastors and counselors and mentors, people who love managing people, people in customer service industry, people in teachers, in school systems. There's just so many different occupations, the health industry, nurses, so many different jobs that are already a helping industry type of role. And then just areas of our life being caretakers. And then you add to that the personality that God's given you and the giftings. And even if you're not what you would consider a caretaker, and you don't consider yourself like a real emotional or connective person, you can still be a coach because you have information and you can take someone somewhere. You can get them, help them achieve results. You can create strategies. You don't have to be the pastoral type guide, and you don't have to be a mentor. Some people are just really strategy focused. So I want you to know that you can be a helping-hearted person if you want to help anybody, any group of people, get any kind of result or transformation in their life. So, in addition, you need to know that you can start a coaching business. And my goal is to help you learn how to get all of your basic systems set up, get trained and certified, and start actually coaching for under $1,500 or less. And starting a business for that little is basically unheard of, but I'm trying to make it possible for you. And even if you keep working your job for a while and stretch out the spending, it's worth taking the baby steps now, because it'll blow your mind later when you see how the baby steps that you've taken have turned into a highway. And what I'm trying to do is lay out, so the greenhouse course and the training and certification is $497 right now. And as a student in the greenhouse course, you can get a package of power sessions with me and one-on-one coaching for $347, three of them, so that during your greenhouse course, you really get tapped into you specifically, even outside of the cohort course. Okay. Then I'm going to teach you how to get what basic systems you need to set up to get going. And a lot of those systems and platforms are free or very cheap to start moving forward with. And I'm going to help you inside of the course. We're going to learn how to find your specific niche if you want to have one, but at least learning how to find the specific people that you want to start doing life coaching with and go communicate to them what you have to offer. You're going to know who you are, how you help, who you help, and how you help them. Okay. Now, doing all of that and getting it done for under $1,500 just starting out is pretty spectacular. And it's not even all $1,500 all at one time. I've done it, so I know that you can. And the next thing is yes. The answer is yes. You're good enough to do this and you're ready. There will never be 100% of anything out there that you can achieve that will qualify you and tell you it's time. You have to remember, if you go to school to become a teacher or a doctor, you're simply in school. You're not a surgeon. You're not actually doing surgeries until you're in the operating room. You're not actually teaching children until you're in the classroom. And you don't get to be in the classroom until after you've gone through the schooling. Now, part of the schooling for a coach is reading books, listening to podcasts, practicing, experimenting, trying, failing, learning. And your life coach, the schooling that you go through, is pulling together the experience and the wisdom and the knowledge and the calling and the giftings that you have and determining how you will use it to serve the people in the world and love God well. That's your school, okay? And you are good enough to be right where you are, who you are, and begin to offer someone something. And if you're worried about this, I appreciate that. I used to be worried about it as well, and worried that I was not ready, worried that I needed to be something else first, do other things first, because that's how I tended to live life, is believing that I had to reach this mark before I could have permission to go on to the next one. And then I suddenly realized nobody out there is going to give me permission, and nobody's waiting on me, and nobody really cares. What people do care about is being helped themselves. There are more of those people than there are people who are sitting and waiting to judge me for being presumptuous on stepping out in the calling on my life. So yes, you're good and you're ready. The next question is, will people want my help? Will they come to you? Yeah, yep, they will. All you need to do is to be able to invite people to come sit at the table with you. You just need to prepare a table. It could be an end table, a coffee table, a dinner table, a picnic table, cafeteria table, Starbucks table. It doesn't matter. And that table could just be the desk with the computer over Zoom. All you're doing is learning how to create an experience and an atmosphere where people say, oh, there is a place I can show up and there is someone who will help me. That is what people want. You are the biggest concern isn't will they come to you. The biggest concern is, will you learn how to communicate to them that you're available and the table is waiting for them? And I want to teach you how to do that. So the next one is, yes, there are others just like you who are successful at becoming and being life coaches or coaches in other niches, and they live daily helping people discover and achieve transformation in their lives. There are people just like you doing this. Maybe you don't know them. Maybe you haven't met them yet, but you probably see people on Facebook, like a marketing guru coach on Facebook, or a coach who promises to help you make, 6 figures your second year as a coach. There are those people who have the money and the teams to help them put out the Facebook ads. You just need to be you and do what you are made to do right now and skip the FOMO and the comparison of your beginning to someone else's middle or ending. When it comes down to all of the people you see on social media doing these big, grandiose things, they've been doing it for a long time, or they've gone a direction that has led them to be more on social media and more in your face in those areas. So that is not who you are. It's not who you're going to be. You're going to be you. It's going to have your flavor. So remember to not judge and compare, uh, you know, you against big companies or somebody like Brooke Castillo or Amy Porterfield or Jenna Kutcher, like all of these people who are out there that are coaches in one form or another. They've been doing it for a decade or two, and that is not who you are right now starting out. So yes, there are people who are just like you, just like me, working from home, helping people, loving what we do, and not trying to become a 7-figure business owner. If that happens one day, fine. But that ultimately is not my goal and probably isn't yours right now. The goal right now is to get clients and coach people because you want to do what you're called to do, what you love doing. So let's go after that and not compare ourselves and make it feel to ourselves, because nobody else is telling you this. Nobody else is telling you, hey, if you can't be like so-and-so on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok as a coach and an entrepreneur, then you can't be one. Nobody's actually telling you that. That's the spirit of comparison inside of your soul speaking to you. Don't let that voice win. There are people who are just like you doing great things and in the day-to-day, and you can do it too. Now, yes, the next one, yes, is you can help people even if you don't have it all figured out yet. If your life isn't perfect, if you don't know everything that you need to do and you don't know how to do everything that you think you need to do, yeah, you can do it. And you have a life that is right where it's supposed to be because this is where you are. You stop living like if you were somewhere else, if you were someone else, if you were doing something else, everything would be as it should be. Everything in your life is as it should be right now because this is the way that it is. So stop wishing it away. Accept responsibility personally for your current life. Own it and walk in it. And stop thinking that there's actually going to be a period of your time when you have it all figured out. That's not true. Perfection is only found in the man named Jesus. If you expect that your pastor is perfect or other people in your life, like leaders and bosses, if you expect that they are perfect before they start, yeah, you probably expect the same thing of yourself. But the truth is that when you have expectations of yourself and other people to be perfect and to not be frail or faulty in any way, then the pedestal that you put others and yourself on gets higher and higher and higher. And it is very difficult and painful when people fall off that pedestal that they didn't put themselves on. So I encourage you to release yourself and the other people in your life from perfection and from always being good and right and never being in process. Because if you hold yourself to that, you will not start. And it's really important that you take next right steps and take imperfect action. We don't take action from perfection. We take imperfect action, and that leads us through a process to progress towards better, but not perfect. Just take perfect off of the to-do list, okay? And the very next thing I suggest that you do in order to help yourself believe these things and step into them is get trained. Learn what you can. I do, again, invite you into the greenhouse training. There's a few spots left. It's a very small, intimate course. So it has a lot of focus on you and what you need. Starts July 14th, of 2022. So get in there, get going. And then other things, read books, listen to podcasts, pursue other coaches, see what they're doing. Get a coach for yourself. It doesn't have to be me. Go find somebody to coach you in any area of your life and experience the transformation, experience getting results, experience the success and the satisfaction of working towards something with somebody, and it will spur you on towards wanting to give this same experience, a transformational experience, to someone else. You will find yourself passionate when you experience it in your own life. And that again is where the greenhouse is. Let me just stop and say, I used to think that every time I talked about the services that I offer, coaching, courses, even the podcast, I used to feel that when I would tell people about it, I'd be afraid of sounding markety. And I had a switch in my brain. I actually had to do some work. I call it the Pearl practice. I've talked about it in other episodes. And I realized that the legacy, Pearl stands for paradigm, emotion, action, result, legacy. And I realized that the legacy that I want is a legacy of transformation and hope. And the results I have to get to have that legacy is I have to be getting consistent results in other people's lives through my client work, through courses. And I have to be able to see those results in other people's lives to say that that's a legacy I'm creating and leaving. The action I have to take to do that is I must let you know that results and transformation are possible. And I realized I was getting stuck. And because I'm so afraid of sounding markety and sounding sleazy and over offering and so on and so forth, I under offer usually because I really just want to offer value. And I realized that offering value is associated with letting others know what is available. I can't get you value and transformation if you don't know it's available. And that's where marketing God's way comes in. It is really the heart behind it. But my interpretation of other people doing the same thing has not felt so good. So I've projected that onto myself. And I'm telling you all of this because as you become a coach, this is going to be something you have to deal with in your own mindset and your thought life, is that what you offer is full of value and there are results for people to get. And if you don't tell people what you offer, they will not know and they will miss out. And when I started realizing that I needed to be taking actions that offer and communicate, and I don't have a heart to do it marketing like sleazy or weird or controlling or manipulative. Like I just don't have a heart. And I don't think that it probably comes across that way. It doesn't mean somebody doesn't interpret it from their own paradigm that way, because I have. But now I realize that the more I tell you about it, the more it sticks in your brain that it is something that is out there. It is offered. And it doesn't have to be with me, but I want it to be with me. I want to work with you. And I love helping you find transformation in your own life, creating a business, and walking in the calling God has on your life as a coach. I love doing that. So I want it to be with me because I love doing it and I want it for you. But I would never tell you that I'm the only one out there that you should work with. So I would always be really supportive of you for who you are and what fits for you. And I'm not the right person for everybody. Even if you listen to every podcast episode, it doesn't mean I'm the right coach to work with. So I want to give you value, but I also want to take action and communicate to you what I offer and teach you how to do the same thing for your own business and your own clients. And in order to take that action, just continuing with the Pearl practice, I have to feel the emotion and experience the desire to tell you, and I have to feel excitement. For me personally, I need to feel excitement about what I'm offering. I need to feel confidence that I know what I'm offering. I don't have to, mind you, I don't have to be confident in the offer as much as I have to be confident I know what I offer. The offer might be something new, and I might just be playing that out and walking it out as we go, because that's how creation happens, and it's how co-creation happens with a client. But confidence in knowing what I have to offer is key for me. And if I'm feeling lack of clarity, if I feel really confused and I can't even explain it to myself, I'm not going to be able to confidently offer it to you. And that keeps me from taking action and sharing my offers and value and the transformation that we can get together. So, and I need to feel excited. So in order to feel excited and confident, the paradigm I have to operate from, the belief system and the thoughts that I have, it needs to be that it's possible. I need to be believing that it's possible. I need to be believing the things I've shared with you in this episode. I need to be believing that it is not too late for me to do this. I need to be believing that people want what I offer. I need to be believing that I am valuable as a person and a coach, even though I'm not perfect and not everything in my life is figured out yet, even though I'm in process. I need to believe I'm good enough and ready enough to do this. I need to believe that there are other people like me moving forward. And I need to believe that my helping heartedness is worth something. I want you to begin believing these things about yourself. I believe them about you. And I'm encouraging you to shift your paradigm to believe them too. So again, that goes back to me sharing with you that the Greenhouse Life Coach Training and Certification course is for you. And I have made it, right now, the Lord made it, because He said it was $497, which is a ridiculous price. And none of my business-minded friends are happy about that price because they know the value of it and they know me as a coach. They know what you're going to get is worth probably 5 times more than that at least. So I want you in it while it's at that price, because I will raise it as the Lord leads and allows me to. And I will keep pouring into it, but I'm really going to pour my all and give everything to the students inside the greenhouse in this course. And I want you to be in there if it's something that God has said to you. You can feel free to email me and ask any questions at laura@sterlingandstonementoring.com. And you can go check it out at the website, sterlingandstonementoring.com. Just click on the greenhouse. It gives you a lot of the information, answers a lot of questions for you. And don't forget, there's the quiz on the website about what kind of coach you are. And that's just been really fun working with people, knowing the foundation of what kind of coach they are. It really adds to how we build out sessions and what kind of tools they create and the perspective that they have in their work that we do and the work they do with their own clients. So I pray that this episode is a blessing to you and helps you shift the belief and the hope that you have about the possibility of you being a coach. And if you're already a coach and you're struggling with some of these things, just remember that you are in process and you're right where you're supposed to be. And when self-sabotage and imposter syndrome, when they pop up, you look them straight in the eye and say, go. There is no room for you here. I choose not to believe in you. I choose not to partner with you. You're not going to lead me. My spirit will lead my soul, and imposter syndrome and self-sabotage have no place. So, bless you today, and I'll talk to you next time. Are you ready to become a hero in your own story by investing in yourself through life coaching? Are you looking to become an amazing guide to others by becoming a coach or up-leveling your current practice? Then check out sterlingandstonementoring.com to see how we can work together. And don't forget, it's really easy to say thanks if any of this free content has been a blessing to you just by leaving a quick written review over on Apple Podcasts. And thank you in advance.